On my list.
Hello? 12:42. No savings. Okay, so we sign them. Savings?
There were no actions taken during the executive session.
Yes, and on this, meeting on January 8th, everybody, accept those. Second. Any comments, criticisms, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Included in the package is your operating statement for the month of January 2020 on page 11. I'll just go through some of the significant items here. Closing fee, we had Andrew's house closed in the month of January. The pilot admin fee, that's our once a year for each project, $1,000. The extension of sales taxes for WHTV. Going down in expenses, most of them are the normal monthly recurring, for example, the rent. And also we estimate our insurance every month, and then on the next page, you'll see we show the interest down 3/4 way, like 5,700 per month. Any questions?
Same question.
Sure. $2,009,000.
Any questions for Lori?
I did want to mention that we're in process of wrapping up the audit. We will have a report for everyone's review. And also we're inputting everything into pilot. And also the next meeting, we'll give out those details and you'll be reviewing it and approving it because it's due the end of March. So, yeah. The pilots, all the information, sorry. Yep. Any questions?
Motion. So second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We're gonna take some things out of order because I know that Scott needs to leave. I'm gonna skip down to the CEO's report for the discussion on 14 Glover. Show the record there. On page, sorry. Just, it's in the minutes. On page 66 of your packets is the letter that we received from 14 Glover requesting consideration of their,
Quiet in the audience.
it's requesting consideration for their pilot. So that letter is on page 66. I just can't get to 66. Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion that, directed to filings.
An exemption with the tax assessor's office?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're gonna also extend the other, items.
Extend the
of
employment requirements.
The completion.
So moved.
So moved.
Was either to terminate the pilot, and you can ask us to reinstate at a later date, if we're along the process, if you need it, or suspend.
And this way they can file an exemption directly with the assessor, and they're entitled to do it. Better.
And also with the Stony, with the merger with Stony Brook. That's in place.
And then I'll give you.
Correct.
Yeah, first and second.
Do we have a motion?
Yes, you had a motion and a second.
Okay, got it.
You just have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna get,
Thank That's good. At least an application, doesn't have to.
okay, so we're gonna take some things out of order. We have a presentation, but they're not coming until 1:30, so we're gonna skip over the application right now. We're gonna move into the resolutions. The first resolution on the agenda is the On the Commons at Rocky Point project. This is the final authorizing resolution. We did a public hearing and we received one letter of support for the public hearing. Just to remind you, this is the senior housing project in Rocky Point. In your packets on page, I think this is 44. There, it's, Mark Bacious project. On page 44, you'll find the cost benefit analysis as long, in addition to the assessment that Moyne did. And it's a final authorizing resolution. Did anyone have any questions?
This is the old Thurber
Yes.
lumber
Been an
facility.
eyesore for many
Yep.
years, and he's also gonna give precedence to vets. So we'll
Yes.
try to get senior veterans in here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very good project.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Blue Point Brewery Company. Ironically, I went straight to it. It's on page 57. It's done twice. They, as I mentioned at our last board meeting, they put solar panels, they put 217 kilowatts of DC solar array on the top of the facility, which is excellent. They should have come to us first. They did not, but they realized, they came to us after the fact. Basically, they're asking for our assistance. They need us to sign off on some documentations when they realized that we were in
To get the solar
chain.
exemption.
Yeah,
So,
And we
thank
saw.
it's, according to the assessor's policy, since they're using the energy to go back into the building for their own manufacturing process, the assessor would not adjust the taxes because of that, so this board can do what you want, but the policy of the assessor's office is to not adjust the taxes. So we could leave the pilot as is.
Which is what our suggestion is. Motion, second,
Second.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is Global Tissue Group. That's on page 58 of the packets. We received a letter from this company requesting them to requesting permission to refinance up to $14.9 million. This is a project on Long Island Avenue, just south of the LIE and west of Sills Road. They're actually close to the end of their time with us, but they put in a request for a refinance.
No effect on us whatsoever, strictly refinance. Motion,
So moved.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion also carries.
The next item on the agenda is the Cross Sound Cable Company request. This is also a request to refinance. This is roughly $13.2 million of refinance that they've requested. This Cross Sound Cable is located in Shoreham. I was gonna say we were close, but not right. And it's basically a facility that has a cable that goes across south.
This cable goes from Bridgeport to Shoreham. And the east side of Sound is a large building that converts most of the electricity from AC to DC, WDC will goes through the cable. Back into Shoreham, the DC goes back to DC.
Once again, strictly refinancing request. Second, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is a letter that we received from DNF Belport Residences, the Glen Eagle Green at Belport project. This is a 100% affordable project in North Belport. Their letter outlines, it's an amendment to the application, so they outlined a couple of changes. They adjusted the cost breakdown. Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Still have a quorum, right?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
They adjusted the cost breakdown. They increased the cost of the project slightly, but really they just adjusted where the money falls out. They put in a request for adjusting their financing. They requested a mortgage reporting tax exemption, which they had not in their original application. They qualified a couple of things about the workforce housing components of the project, and they also qualified that their application said that they would have I think 3 full-time employees, and in fact, it's gonna be 2.5 full-time employees. So it's just a amendment to their application.
But the area that it's going is a blighted area.
It's a blighted
Yes,
area.
yeah, North Belfort, you already accepted, the board already accepted this application. This is just some amendments to clean it up a little bit. So it's a blighted area, this is our opportunity zone area, this is 100% affordable project.
And 2 projects have come in to Dunkin' Donuts and now gas station and 7-Eleven since. So,
This is almost a $32 million project.
yes.
Second.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Next item on the agenda is on page 64 of your application. It is our organizational resolution number 27, which was postponed until we could work on a few of the numbers. As you can see, we adjusted the first 2 goals to 30% and the 4th and 7th goal from 5% up to 10% each.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is a request from C2NY. We actually also have a resolution for this. They asked to have their sales tax and completion date extended until August of 2020. So you're aware their sales tax completion date was, their sales tax exemption actually expired December 31st of 2019. They didn't come back to us. Their second was purchased between then and now. And if there were, we will have to recapture the sales tax that they saved during that period. But they basically just asked if we would extend it to August 2020. They had some issues and haven't been able to move forward as quickly as they expected.
Just remind everybody which project.
Oh, I'm
this
sorry,
is.
C2NY, that's the Penny Saver Solar, on the town,
What page
Yeah,
are you
And
referring
they
to?
started,
and they started? Okay. What was that?
What page?
I'm sorry, 67? We're doing good, Sandy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second. All those in favor? Thank you.
And on page 68, we have a similar request from ABR Chelsea. This is the assisted living and independent living on the ABR property on the northwest corner of the LIE and William Floyd. So this is the independent and assisted living facility. They asked for a sales tax exemption extension and completion date extension until September 30th of 2020, and the same holds true. It expired December 31st. They're researching to see if they made any purchases in that window between then and the request, and if they did, we'll have to recapture the sales tax on any purchases that were made, and that's actually outlined in the resolution as well.
Motion.
So moved.
Discussion? Question? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the board assessments.
And we'll pick that up in detail in March.
The next item is our uniform tax exemption policy. We are working on edits to it. This is just an update, really. As soon as we have the edits together, we'll send them out for everybody's review and bring it back at hopefully the next board meeting. And until then, the moratorium stands. Does anyone have
And
any?
the plan would be to discuss it at the March meeting, have a public hearing subsequent to that, and then hopefully approve it. Correct?
Just an FYI, we received our 2020 bond allocation, roughly $8.4 million. That's just to let you guys know. The next item on the agenda is solar in general. As you know, the governor passed a law in October that we now have to ask in our application if a project has, and I shouldn't, really, it should have been renewable, it's not solar. Yeah, renewable energy. If our project has any renewable energy components to it. So we added that question into our application, and we added the language that was required into our UTEP, although it hasn't been adopted yet, it is in the draft. Subsequent to that, Fred, Annette, Jim, and I met with the supervisor, and he asked that we encourage our projects to do renewable on their buildings and in their projects. We discussed how it's gonna make sense for some projects and it's not gonna make sense for other projects, and he certainly understood that. And Annette and I were just in a meeting with the project, and we discussed that we would like them to look into it, and they were certainly willing to consider that.
Yeah, I think you should start the conversation early in the process.
Yes.
Top of that, supplement or in some cases replace Article 10 citing solar doing other projects. Pilots are going to be encouraged based on our pilots. And also, NYSERDA, the New York City Energy Research Development Authority, will actually comment on and make suggestions for the pilots to encourage more renewable energy projects, large industrial projects, and the state is going to have a lot of emphasis on having building a large building, try to make it safe. So, so this is states up to 9 gigabytes of new renewable energy. A lot of them, some a lot of projects we create, not traditional, we consider projects.
And we have those now, solar on the roof.
Yeah, we probably have more solar projects. Certainly,
And that's standalone solar projects, but then we also have the rooftop projects, quite,
the rooftops together.
quite,
This IDA
and when you consider,
Hmm?
well, that's gonna come up later on, as a matter of fact. But when you consider Claire Rose's roof and Quality King's roof, that is a huge,
And then you that one.
right, but those two right there, those are large.
I know, and the project we were in today,
Yes.
really make it.
Yes. And this building.
upstate. is probably-
They were running up to the start.
Okay.
Okay, so that was just another FYI. The next item on the agenda is a request we received from New York State, from the Long Island LIBDC. Every year we sponsor a dinner. They asked us if we would consider moving our dinner from June to April this year. They think that the turnout will be better if it's not in the summertime. And they also asked if we would sponsor it. Historically, it's been $5,000 for the sponsorship. And then they also asked if we had any speaker ideas.
Discussed, Phil Lang, who runs Long Island Railroad, there's been some discussion about looking at a national lab. Obviously, they've just gotten a huge award, overall economic impact in this region, a number of jobs throughout Long Long Island is going to be significant. So, yeah, I mean, he was here 2 years ago, but this is a very good project.
Yeah.
So I think it would be something worthwhile for us to do. So if I have your approval,
Yeah, motion.
yes, $5,000 sponsorship for that, thank you.
And do we agree to the April?
Yes, I like June, but they think April will work better.
All in favor? The next item on the agenda is New York State EDC has their annual meeting in Cooperstown, May 20th to the 22nd. The information about it is in your packets on page 73. They asked us if we would sponsor, again, as we have in the past. This is also typically we've given at the $5,000 rate. And I wanted to see if anybody wanted to go. I heard a rumor that the Otisaka is completely full already. They have other, you can rooms around the corner.
And we do get a lot of publicity out of that. It's very worthwhile. And that organization continues to do tremendous work.
Yes.
How many projects have we received from City Council?
Hard to say.
We haven't won by any-
No, other than some of the attorneys who represent projects here.
It's
Have
now-
been
now-
over the last 2 or 3 years, have been going to that event.
The other two, is they have exploitation, training seminars, food design. Very panel discussions, speakers, workshops, there's a variety of our members, staff, to become more expert in system.
Yeah.
Motion? All those in favor?
The next item on the agenda is the LIA luncheon, which is March 27th this year. A-Rod is the speaker.
Don't know if he's bringing a guest with him.
Regardless of whether he brings a guest or not, does anybody want a ticket? Do we have interest to get a table? Do you want to sponsor?
I'll go.
Listen, I met Mariana.
You're good?
Hey, Russell.
If anybody has an interest, get back to Lisa.
Yeah.
Last week, taking the table and never fill it, so. We'll do another pretty good.
Yeah, but if there is interest, we can certainly take it, but if anybody wants to attend, just. Let me know. The next item on the agenda is a request that we received from the ABLI and SIBS. They are having their 25th annual Long Island Real Estate Dinner. It is May 6th. They asked if we wanted to sponsor. So I wanted to see, do you want to sponsor? And if not, does anybody want tickets to attend? Okay. And if somebody realizes that they want tickets, just let me know. The next item on the agenda, I put in a sheet that Fred picked up at one of the NYDGC, New York State EDC conferences that sort of goes over the governor's executive, the budget and the items that are probably of interest. Honestly, I think for us, I'm gonna tell you in 1 second. We're probably most interested in page 70. I'm just looking for the specific portion that I wanted to bring to your attention. But it starts on page 76, but there is on page 79 at the very bottom, and then it goes over to page 78, is the discussion about the addition of prevailing wage into the budget. And Bill, I don't know if there's anything else in the budget or anything else about upcoming legislation that you wanted to touch on.
There are several bills that have been introduced in the Senate. Where, New York State EDC, biggest legislation on something.
So we'll keep you informed as we learn more, but this was just a quick synopsis that I thought might be of interest. And then the last item on the agenda in my report is a letter that we received from the Public Work Enforcement Fund. I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. We have no projects that fall into the definition of this fund, and we wrote back to them and informed them of that. It's just something to be aware of.
What is the public works?
You're doing a public works, so you're doing this building, there's a certain percentage of construction costs have to be paid to New York State.
And there's a outline of.
Lisa said we don't have.
Yeah. So, is Brian here?
You want him now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just text
Brian.
Todd Shapiro Associates is going to do a presentation. Hi,
Yes,
Brian.
how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Sorry, I was up there. Yeah, so thanks for having us once again. I'm here with my colleagues, Carol Trottier and Luca Marpe, he's out in the hallway as well. I just wanted to give you an overview about our media and social media for the past month or so. So our social media, though we did make growth, it wasn't the growth that we saw in the month prior, but we're still, seeing increases in interactions and also post reach. In the past 7 days, we've had 616 people reach out, or our post reach 616 people. We've had 72 post engagements, which is good. The month prior, we had 759 post reach. Right? So we can obviously see once we've seen more print media, which I'll get to in a couple of seconds, more traction going directly past onto the Facebook post. So continuing forward on our traditional media, we have a tombstone ad that's going to be on the back page of Long Island Business News, touting the past year on February 28th. So keep an eye out for that. And then also when it comes down to the past month, we've had a whole lot of print media. We've been in Newsday twice. We've also been in Long Island Business News a couple of times. Long Island Business News, we had a 2019 roundup. So it went through all 14 projects that you had closed. And also on February 6th and on January 28th, you were in Newsday. We released 4 press releases, one for Agilitas, one's for Angela's House, one's for Brooks, and one's an IDA year roundup. And our next month, we're going to be doing a 50-year roundup of everything that you've done for the 50 years that you've been incorporated IDA. So if anybody has any questions. Oh, and by the way, very importantly, congratulations. You've been named a winner in this year's Real Estate Awards for Long Island Business News for the best project in Suffolk County for your solar project, 5 solar projects. So that award's going to be coming up, and congratulations again.
All of them, general, good luck.
Brian, is there any way to tag where some of those hits are coming from specifically?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Like Queens and what?
Yeah. So through a promoted effort, we can do that. So what we can do is we could reach out to 5 boroughs, we can reach out to other areas that we find most compatible to what our needs here are in Brookhaven, and try to bring those businesses here. So that can come in the next step, in the next stages of targeted ad promotion. Pennies on the dollar would be able to achieve that. So what we do is we do a paid ad reach that would target based upon, any given number of interests. Also based upon job title, based upon yearly salary, based upon interests, whether they're business owners, that type of stuff. If they're members of business groups, if they follow Long Island Business News, if they follow any, the Real Deal or Cranes or stuff like that, so based upon interest, you're able to take Facebook, you're able to target ads to those particular demographics. So that'll be like the next month. So what we're trying to do, and the way that it works, is any post that performs organically well, which means without paid reach, you take that post and you're able to promote it to a specific audience, and that is usually known to produce at higher levels because organically it's producing well. Your audience that follows you already is interested in it, and likely the audience that you want to target from that point forward through paid ad reach will be pertinent as well.
We talked about geo-targeting
Right.
specific boroughs, so that
Yeah.
we're focused on, on some lights and followership there.
Yeah.
How we can do that.
So this past month, we focused, like most of the time, well, early in the month, we had the continuation of the last ad reach. If you remember, we had like anywhere between 600, towards the end, probably 600 additional likes came in towards the end. So that first ad promotion campaign ended, and we're starting another one now in cooperation with Luca, which I know that he could probably elaborate with you offline about the logistical details of it. But I know that we targeted Brooklyn, we targeted Astoria, Queens, and we're probably going to target some other areas as well, nationwide.
I think we need to branch out, not just from the boroughs, but I mean, we have seen such an increase in our social media following from that process, that we've surpassed Suffolk County and Nassau County in followership, and that's important. So the more that we target, we want to bring businesses to Brookhaven. The best way to do that is to make sure that we're geo-targeting to get that interest.
Right, and I think that there's something to be said additionally about doing the job titles as well, because we don't want to target a rank and file staff member as much as we want to target the people that are the movers and the shakers, determining what the next steps are for their business.
Right.
So if we're trying to attract people here, I think we should go for, CEOs, owners,
You also need
managing
content,
directors.
though. So
Yes.
as far as the content, obviously you talked about print links.
Yes.
But we can, and we've talked about this before, why don't we start to spotlight our
Projects?
our existing projects?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, what my colleague accomplished and working with the IDA was the tombstone ad. So now we have like a clear idea of, obviously, the whole year in one snapshot. So we can take that and we don't have to solely rely on print media for that. We can promote that on social as well. And we can break that down to like the 14 projects that we closed this year. We can break that down and target it based upon industry if we wanted to.
We could just we could also, as a board, we could perhaps Fred and Lisa, that, let's get testimonials from our project.
Jim's got a ton of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
got
if
it.
we can get that testimonial from each one of our projects that want to contribute, that's more content for Brian to be able to push out.
So also with, like videos are very effective, 10-second or less videos. So testimonials about their relationships with the IDA, what they found effective about working with the IDA, that makes social content that much more, effective.
Brian, I mean, if we can give you the connect, perhaps, you guide very basic, I mean, we're talking about, user-generated content.
Right.
You guide a 15-second, 30-second, piece from any one of these, executives that's going to contribute.
Right.
It's like, hey, so if Jim gives you the number, the contact them, get them to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it on their phone.
And what we could also do is a message from the IDA. I've seen other, organizations do this. So have a message from the top that goes out to the, your following and then also promoted. Because, part of what you're doing is an education campaign about what makes Brookhaven a great place to bring the business. So if you.
And a great place to work.
And a great place to work and live and play. So what you want to do is by portraying that message effectively, and I think the most effective way of doing that is a video. So we designate a member of the board maybe, or designate one of, the IDA staff, in addition to the testimonials, to have an effective, short, concise message about what your role is and what can be done. And
Cheap and easy, I like it.
so,
Yep.
but I think we had an extremely
Always cheap and
successful, kudos to you guys and also kudos to my colleague, Carol. She did a great job this month about securing some placements. You were mentioned in, in the Our Town section of Newsday a bunch of times. I think the 14 project piece in Long Island Business News was great, only be amplified by the Tombstone ad that's coming this month.
And those things are all in your packets.
Yeah. And, any way that we can, improve or continue to work with you all, we look forward to doing it. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Brian.
And I will add to that the real estate, the LIBN Real Estate Architecture and Engineering Awards are Tuesday, March 24th from 6 to 9 at the Crest Hollow Country Club. We are being honored. And as an aside, Bill Mannix is retiring next month, May, soon, very soon. And he's being honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. So that's
What's the date on that again?
March 24th from 6 to 9. They're gonna come back to us to see if we want to sponsor, but if anyone wants to, once we get an idea of how many seats we have, we can figure it out.
It's also a tremendous networking opportunity. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. Long Island Business News brings, basically your entire field here on Long Island in industry here to that reception. So it's a great opportunity to network, find potential business, and for the betterment of the idea. So
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
thank you very much.
Terry, you want us to come in?
And so the next item on the agenda, if you go back to page 13 of your packets, is an application from BioCogent, perfect timing.
No.
You guys can,
Go on a bit.
yeah, pull up these chairs right here.
Right here?
Yes,
Sure.
sure.
Have a cookie.
So in your packets, yeah, just,
Move your face this way if you want.
yeah, you can pull it, whatever's.
We're very popular today.
So
Not really.
their application and cover letter is in your packets, along with, a follow-up letter that we received, just quickly, and I'm gonna let you guys tell about your project briefly, but just a quick overview. They are a manufacturer and R&D company of biologically active dermatology ingredients. So stuff that you put on your face, your skin, that they're layman's, thank you. Well, no, but you wouldn't actually use their product because it's a piece in your makeup or a piece in your lotion. So I think if you just put this directly on your skin, it may or may not work.
I have friends, so that's me.
So currently they are at the Stony Brook University's Long Island High Tech Incubator, and unfortunately Anne Marie was unable to attend this meeting, otherwise she would have been, we're live streaming, so maybe she's watching. Currently, they have 29 employees, and they're looking to increase to 46. They're also going to be able to bring some outsourced manufacturing from Wisconsin back to Long Island, which we're very excited about. They're purchasing an existing facility at 22 Research Way in East Setauket, so they'll fall under our adaptive reuse policy. It's a roughly 59,000 square foot building, and it's going to be a roughly $21 million project. They're looking for mortgage recording tax, sales tax. They put in a request for a 15-year pilot, which we can discuss. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves and your project?
I'll start off. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for meeting us. My name is Dan Dornfeld. I'm with Coachella Deegan Toronto. This is the perfect sort of project why the IDAs were created to stimulate economic growth. And this is the sort of company that really is an economic engine. We've talked for so long about Stony Brook being an economic engine to create jobs, to create high-paying jobs. So what my client is looking to do is have a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, and I'm going to let Mr. Chicoli tell you about it, but it is unbelievable. We're talking about rewriting RNA and DNA. I don't understand too much of it, so, but it's incredible. And what it's going to do is it's going to create the need for jobs, and the sort of jobs that kids graduating from Stony Brook will have places to put degrees in chemistry and PhDs. Those are the people who are going to be hired. It's a $21 million project, and that's all coming from the companies generating it, and they're taking out loans. We're asking for $7.4 million in mortgage recording and tax abatement, but it probably won't be that much. We're looking to go $3 million for the SBA and $4.4 million for conventional mortgage. The problem is we're early in the process, and we don't want to be caught short if we discover that we're better off going with the full amount instead of going with the SBA. So the building's going to be 6.9, but then it's going to cost almost $5 million to renovate the building, and it's going to cost almost $8 million in machinery and equipment. And again, the equipment is remarkable, very advanced. And, you know, we see this as a growing company that will not only bring manufacturing jobs back to the area, but will create the opportunity for more graduates to get the high-paying jobs. As you said, we're looking for 46 jobs by the end of 2023. But we're talking about salary. The salary employees will make an average of $90,000, $27,000 in benefits. And even the hourly employees will make over $50,000 a year with benefits. So we think it's really a great project for the community. It is a very, very expensive project, and my client is investing a tremendous amount of money, which is why we're here seeking help from the IDA. Now I'll introduce Joe Chicola to tell you a little bit about the manufacturing that they're actually doing.
Okay, well, I first want to say thank you for having us here. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm really grateful for the consideration. My background, I'm a scientist by training. I'm a former gene jockey by trade. My core focus right now is in bioscience, right? So our company is a biotechnology company that's using biotechnology science and research to create, invent, develop, and commercialize, produce to sell products. And we currently do that out of Liddy, out of the high-tech incubator. We are selling in 15 countries, as little as we are. And we are at a point now where a lot of the development work that we've done over the past few years, it takes that long. Unlike a drug that might take 20, ours takes 10, but it takes that long. And now these products are becoming commercially being adopted, being used by our clients. And we're at a stage now where just keeping up with manufacturing is a challenge. And the need to grow is powerful. So it's an exciting time for us. As you heard, building this biomanufacturing operation here on Long Island is really something Canada do. It's not the first operation I have run of this type. A former company was another Long Island company that did very well. We're still operating here in the company as BASF, and they acquired the assets years ago. But the plan here is to build this facility, keep it in Brookhaven, keep it close to the university, and utilize it as a training ground for students, for engineers coming out of Stony Brook, other universities, so that we can build a biotech know-how that we have a lot of book smart people, but we need to have people really adept at hands-on biotech manufacturing. And I think we're in a good position to do that. The need is there. And I think that if we're able to do what we want to do, we'll be able to do succeed.
So can you explain the initial workforce projection that you have, and then what you see beyond that?
Sure. So I'll start.
Yeah.
Currently 29 employees. We're going to keep space at the Long Island High Technology, but we're going to keep the 29. Then we're anticipating another 6 employees by the end of 2022, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and then another 10 employees the following year. And then, I mean, we expect to grow regularly, when business increase and the commercial appeal of what they're developing grow.
The facility will suit that space and growth.
Yeah, so as you heard, we want to keep we're working with the Long Island Incubator. They're interested in having strategic partners, the anchors, I guess, at the location. Our plan would be to keep our research labs there, continue growing our research footprint, and then keep all the manufacturing operations at the site, which is literally 4 or 5 miles away.
And we should add also, we're partnering with the university for things like internships, whatever, for students to learn at Stony Brook about the application of technology.
I can tell you, Joe's been looking for space for a long time. When I was at Gyrodine, you were looking for space
Yes,
there.
I have them.
And the company you were with before, Collaborative Laboratories, was a project that I started way back when. So you know us well, we know you well.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes that's not good.
In this case, it is.
Like a bad penny.
Not at all.
Our responsibility is to the public, fiduciary responsibility. Is important. Will this project happen without this need?
Okay, they actually have a manufacturing facility in Wisconsin, where they've taken over a good amount of the manufacturing, and they could take over more of the manufacturing and seek to do that. So we could allocate a larger portion of the manufacturing in Wisconsin. It's a lot of money we're investing, a tremendous amount of money, and it's not like that's gonna hurt, and they're gonna have to reach really deep into their pockets with the IDA benefits to get it done. So yeah, if we can't get the IDA's help, unfortunately, project won't happen.
Other questions?
What are the type of jobs that will be created, and what presently is at 22 Research Way? Is it a manufacturing
vacant.
facility?
It's vacant, it's been vacant for quite some time.
That's a good question. It really is a diverse group of individuals. We have PhD scientists. In fact, we're closing the Plum Island, we're packing Plum Island. We hired a PhD from Plum Island. We hired more. We hired people from Stony Brook. Our first true chemical engineer was a graduate of Stony Brook. He came to us with a bachelor's degree, never having touched a bioreactor, and we taught him his ways, and now he's better than me. So we have everything from the hourly manufacturing staff, who we treat very well because they're our lifeblood. We have administrative staff, we have quality control chemists, we have quality assurance, administrative personnel for FDA compliance, which we are an FDA, private FDA and CGMP. So we have a full back office, accounting, customer service. We do everything ourselves. So if you come to our facilities, you'll see we have a customer service group, shipping our orders, we do our warehousing. It's a full gamut.
So that's great.
It's a full gamut of an operation.
So just as a side, what's going on with the third building? On the other, the new building, Stony Brook put up?
Yeah, so the Innovation Discovery Center. So we were invited to take part of that building, and they built a high bay in there for the bioreactors. Unfortunately, there was an issue with New York State and a lease. They're not interested in doing leases, they do a facilities use permit. And the facilities use permit is an annual event. So I would have invested all this money into the facility that I could be told you have to leave. And it just wasn't. Just we're on great terms with everybody. It's just like, I would have had to go to legislature and change. Finding something.
Thank you. Nice. Other questions? A resolution to accept the application and schedule a public hearing. Second.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Welcome to Brooklyn.
Thank
Yes, thank you so much.
you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. See you soon.
And that's the last item on the agenda.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Thank you all.
Excuse me, we don't have a chance to speak at all?
No.
No, there's no public comment.
When will there be when will there be a public comment?
Each project has a public hearing.